technically it came
Huh?
Oh, you taking me back to their room?
No, take it back out that door.
Okay.
Lots of paper. Stand there and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please rise. Court's back in session.
May be seated. Calling the matter of People versus, is it Ikeie Smith? Matters before the court for the signing of a felony complaint and request for the issuance of a warrant before the court this morning is Detective Sergeant Ray Glenfield, Garden City Police. Sergeant Glenfield, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that the facts and statements contained in this complaint are true to the best of your knowledge, information, belief, and testimony given to the court will be the truth.
Right.
The court will hand you a copy of the complaint. Please review it. If true, please sign for the court.
Your Honor, one correction on the record. The date of offense listed is 1/10/2015. It's actually November 10th, 2015.
Make that correction.
Just one correction.
Let the record reflect that the complaint has been signed before the court. Would you please advise the court of the circumstances?
Your Honor, this incident occurred on November 10th, 2015 at 1045 Arcola here in the city of Garden City. Garden City police officers were dispatched to the location in reference to a sexual assault that had just occurred, and the suspect had left the location. Upon their arrival, they spoke to the victim, Jessica Freeze. Jessica stated that at about 5:45 a.m. She was sleeping in her living room on a mattress on the floor. TV was on, bedroom, or a lamp was on as well in the room as she slept. She was then awoken by an unknown black male who had a black knife, which she said was approximately 5 to 7 inches long. The suspect was wearing a dark hoodie up over his head, but exposing his face that she could see, and she did not recognize him. The suspect pulled her over onto her back and told her that he wouldn't hurt her if she opened up her legs. Jessica complied, and the suspect removed her underwear. He then made her remove her t-shirt. The suspect then began to sexually assault her. The suspect inserted his penis into her vagina without a condom. He then made Jessica open her mouth at one point and inserted his penis into her mouth. After that, he then put a condom on his penis and then reinserted his penis into her vagina. During the assault, the suspect had also placed his mouth on her breasts as well. Once the suspect was done, he told her that she told anyone he knew where she lived. He then left, and Jessica lay there for a few minutes and then went in and told her husband, who was sleeping in a bedroom in the house as well. They called the police. We arrived. It appeared the suspect made entry into the home through an unlocked kitchen window. A chair, like a plastic patio chair, had been placed underneath and against the house underneath the window where the entry was made. All this was processed and photographed. Jessica then went to the Wayne County SAFE program, where a registered nurse completed a sexual assault examination on her, with the kit being turned over to us, and then the lab. The lab was able to obtain a suspect DNA profile from the left breast swab. However, at that time, there was no name associated with the DNA profile from our case. On September 7th of this year, Dearborn PD arrested the suspect before you, Mr. Smith, in regards to a case they were investigating. They obtained a buccal swab from Mr. Smith for that DNA analysis, and on September 8th, yesterday, we received MSP confirmation that that DNA profile matched the suspect in our case, basically identifying Mr. Smith as the suspect in our case. thus being charged appropriately and brought before you.
Let the record reflect the complaint has been signed before the court under oath. There is a recommendation from the Wayne County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. There is sufficient probable cause. Mr. Smith is now before the court. You are Mr. Ikeie Smith?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, you've heard what the detective has told the court. Nonetheless, I'm going to read these charges to you. The court has before it now a felony complaint, a 5-count felony complaint alleging in count 1 that you did break or enter without permission a dwelling located at 1045 Arcola in the city of Garden City, and this is alleged to have occurred on November 10th. If I said October, January was November 10th, 2015, and while entering, present, or leaving that premises did commit an assault, and while entering, present, or leaving were armed, you were armed with a knife or another dangerous weapon, and Jessica Freeze was lawfully present in the home. This is known as home invasion in the first degree and is a felony punishable by up to 20 years in prison and or a $5,000 fine. Do you understand that charge and that possible penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
We have also counts 2 and 4, each alleging that you did engage in sexual penetration, specifically penis in the genital opening with Miss Jessica Freeze under the following circumstances: that during the commission of a felony, that this was done during the commission of a felony of home invasion in the first degree, and that you were armed with a weapon or article used or fashioned in a manner to lead the victim to believe that it was a weapon. This constitutes criminal sexual conduct in the first degree and is punishable by up to life imprisonment. Do you understand that charge and that possible penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 3 alleges that you did engage in sexual penetration in the form of fellatio with one Jessica Freeze under the circumstances that it was done during the commission of a felony of home invasion in the first degree and that you were armed with a weapon, or led the person to believe that you're armed with a weapon, making this also criminal sexual conduct in the first degree punishable by up to life imprisonment. Do you understand that charge and that possible penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 5 alleges that you did engage in sexual contact with Jessica Freeze under the circumstances that it was done during the commission of a home invasion, which is a felony, and that you are armed with a weapon or an article fashioned as a weapon in a manner to believe that the victim, believe to the victim that you were armed, making this criminal sexual conduct in the second degree punishable by up to 15 years in prison. Do you understand that charge and that possible penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Due to the fact that these charges are felonies, I do want to advise you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present during any questioning that you may consent to, and if you do not have the money to hire a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand that too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
Not at the present time.
Court will then direct that an attorney be appointed for you. Also, because the charges are felonies, you are entitled to what's known as a preliminary examination, which is a court hearing when the prosecuting attorney must establish probable cause to believe that these crimes are committed and probable cause to believe that you committed these crimes, and you are entitled to that within 21 days of today's date. You're also entitled to what's known as a probable cause conference with your attorney and the prosecutor, not less than 7 or more than 14 days from today's date. Do you understand that too?
Yes, Your
We
Honor.
will give you those dates right now.
Your Honor, the probable cause would be Monday, September the 19th at 9 a.m. with a preliminary exam to be September the 26th.
All right, the 19th and 26th are your next court hearings. Now I have to address the issue of bond, and to do that I'm going to ask you a number of questions. Mr. Smith, how old are you now?
I'm 32, Your Honor.
And where do you live?
I reside in Redford.
And we have an address for you. What is your address in Redford?
15570 MacArthur.
MacArthur, and that's in Redford. Who do you live with there?
My girlfriend of 11 years and my 7-year-old daughter.
Are you employed?
Yes, I'm a plumber.
Do you work for yourself or do you work for someone?
I work for a company called Plumbing Professionals. I've been in the trade about 5 years.
And other than these allegations, have you ever been arrested or convicted of any crime before?
A couple of misdemeanors, marijuana possession. I don't believe I have any felonies that I was convicted of, Your Honor.
Detective, do you have any information which would assist the court in setting that?
This criminal history does show some misdemeanor type cases, which I provided you a copy with.
Yes.
More importantly, obviously, the nature of this case in which he entered a home with a knife and sexually assaulted this victim speaks for itself in regards to the bond. Also, he is forensically linked through DNA to a number of other similar type cases in the area. Without going into really specific details on that, it's obvious that his release at any point, or the ability to be released, would cause the public to be in harm's way if he's released for future possible similar type acts. I would ask for a high bond, as high as we can give him.
It's my understanding, and without getting into too specific, it's my understanding it's a significant number of other cases.
There is a high number, I won't say high, but definitely a significant number.
Anything else, Mr. Smith?
I just want to say that I am not a threat to anyone.
Well, I'm going to just address the issue of bond due to the fact that anything you say can and will be used against you, and you are on the record now. So perhaps you should wait and speak with your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's been brought to the court's attention that there are links to a number of other criminal sexual conduct cases, and it's a significant number, and it's done through forensic evidence. And I'm reciting that now because under Michigan Court Rule 6106 B1 subparagraph D, the court is allowed to remand you without bond under circumstances of criminal sexual conduct in the first degree where the guilt is evidence or the presumption's great, and given the fact that there is a significant there's a significant amount of forensic evidence linking you both to this offense and a number of other defense, what the court is going to do is order that you be remanded without bond under these provisions. And once again, the court would note that the court is to do this unless there is clear and convincing evidence that you are not a risk to the public or not a risk of flight. And under the circumstances here, I think you would be both a risk to the public and a risk of flight, given the significant issues before the court and the significant charges facing you. So the court will order that you be remanded without bond to your next court hearing, which would be the 19th, September 19th in this court. And I have appointed an attorney for you. Anything else? All right. You're welcome. No. Okay. Court will be in recess.
Please rise. Thank you all for coming.